You want to know if this phone is a waste of your hard-earned money? Then watch till the end. Hey guys, it's Eric here and this is my unboxing and review of the TECNO Camon 17 Pro. Let's quickly see what we have in the box. When you open it up, you're greeted with the smartphone wrapped in plastic. This is the ice silver color. It also comes in Malibu blue. We have a clear TPU case. Let's see how well it fits. All the necessary cutouts, protects the camera bump and has a bit of resivity for the front. We have the SIM ejection tool in the bottom compartment. We get a 25-watt fast charger, a USB Type-C cable and a pair of earphones. Here are all the supported 4G LTE bands including Glow 4G band 28. Moving on the front you have a 6.8-inch Full HD Plus IPS LCD display with 90Hz refresh rate. Right at the center top you have a 48-megapixel camera with dual flash and speaker. On the back you have a 64-megapixel quad camera setup with quad flash and that huge Camon branding. On the left you have a 3-in-1 tray that holds two 4G LTE nano SIMs and an SD card. On the right you have a volume rocker and a power button which doubles up as your fingerprint sensor. On the top you have a microphone. On the bottom you have a speaker, a USB Type-C port, a microphone and a 3.5mm headphone jack. About the design, the Camon 17 Pro is actually a pretty good looking phone. The camera layout is very similar to another Chinese brand, TCL's 20 series, but I love the aesthetic and I don't mind if it's a copy and paste. The back and frame are made from plastic, but as you can see, it's not the cheap looking plastic that we saw on the Spark 7P, but it is very prone to fingerprint smudges. Also, because it is slimmer, it feels easier to handle than last year's Camon 16 Premier. On the front, we have the exact same look as the Infinix Note 10 Pro, but unlike the Note 10 Pro, the display is bright outdoors with great viewing angles and that is a relief. We get the same 1080p LCD display with 90Hz refresh rate. Camon 17 Pro comes with 256 gigs of storage and 8 gigs of RAM. We're running on Android 11 with HiOS version 7.6 slapped on top of it, same one on the Spark 7P. This UI is very similar to the XOS Dolphin version 7.6. A lot of bloatware, a lot of ads, the same interface that shows up when you slide all the way to the top. There is no escaping some of these, but I feel like the end users really deserve better, so maybe slap Nova launcher on top of it, or any launcher you prefer really. Camon 17 Pro uses the MediaTek Helio G95 octa-core CPU clocked at 2.0 GHz and is the same one on the Infinix Note 10 Pro. Really, the internals of this phone is about 95% identical to the Infinix Note 10 Pro, so you might want to check out that review if you haven't already. Let's not rinse and repeat too much. This phone's cooling system is not the best, definitely felt the heat from time to time. The fingerprint and face unlock mechanism both have the same speed and all the same issues that I faced on the Infinix Note 10 Pro. Nothing to seriously worry about though. Here's how the dual speakers compare side by side the Camon 16 Premiers. When it comes to gaming, as usual I played PUBG on HD graphics and high frame rates. The highest PUBG setting for this phone. Gameplay is pretty smooth as can be expected because it does support a gaming mid-range chipset. The Camon 17 Pro is powered by a 5000 mAh battery and I put it through our usual battery test including 4 hours of PUBG, 5 hours on Instagram and 2 hours on Facebook etc. all on Wi-Fi. This gave me over 11 hours of screen on time with 8% left to spare. The battery life on this phone is much better than what we got on the Infinix Note 10 and the Note 10 Pro. It took me 50 minutes to charge from 0 to 60% and 1 hour and 50 minutes for a full charge with the charger that came in the box, which is a downgrade from the 33-watt fast charging that we got on the Camon 16 Premier. It's kind of weird that the cheaper Infinix Note 10 Pro supports faster charging speeds. Now to the part you've been waiting for. The camera on the Camon 17 Pro comes packed with a ton of features and TECNO even messed around and added the 108-megapixel interpolation tech. Outdoors, the selfie camera quality by itself is looking crispy and quite detailed, but my skin tone is a little too red for me. For the selfie portrait, the reddish tones are cranked to insane levels and the depth sensing is about average, blurred a bit of my ear. With the primary camera, the results are over-processed, over-sharpened and have a greenish tint to it. It is however very detailed, but it does not produce accurate true-to-life tones. The portrait mode for the primary camera is pretty good with a nice soft bokeh. Looking at the selfie output side by side, the Camon 16 premieres, even though they are both 48 megapixel shots, we can see that the Camon 17 Pro handles exposure levels a little bit better and is more detailed, but the Camon 16 Premiere has a much nicer truer to life skin tone. With the primary camera, it's pretty much the same story. I really don't care for the processed look on the Camon 17 Pro because it looks even worse when you post these on social media. There is a lot amiss with the Camon 17 Pro's primary camera that maybe an update could fix, but even with software updates, I don't expect it to go from 0 to 100. I took multiple photos from this angle, and for some reason the part I usually crop into was out of focus for all the shots taken on the Camon 17 Pro. From the looks of it, dynamic range is so-so on the Camon 17 Pro. The photo in general looks richer in color, but the shadows are a little too dark. With 10 times zoom, we see more of that over-sharpening thing going on the Camon 17 Pro. I tested the 108 megapixel mode, but this time I switched the Premiere for the Oppo A93, which also uses similar software tweaks to achieve a high pixel count. The difference in quality is like night and day when you go real close. It's not actually surprising that the Oppo A93's camera crushed the Camon 17 Pro's cause TECNO did not come correct on this one. Indoors, looking at both shots, we can see blacker blacks on the Camon 17 Pro and white spots on my beard, which is a sign of over-sharpening. Skin tones look much nicer on the Camon 16 Premiere and it's just a better photo. Using the primary camera indoors, the Camon 17 Pro looks truer to life while Camon 16 Premiere looks washed out. The Camon 17 Pro's primary camera actually looks nicer indoors than outdoors. None of that grain filter nonsense. Portrait shots are also more impressive indoors in terms of depth sensing. Using night mode, the Camon 17 Pro is not delivering clear shots. I think the Camon 16 Premiere has it beat. The dual flash is more or less for low lit places, not pitch dark rooms, cause the result could trigger nightmares on both. It records videos in 4K for the primary and secondary camera with EIS on while shooting in 1080p. So this is the front-facing camera of the TECNO Camon 17 Pro shooting in 4K, and here's what the audio sounds like. Now I'm going to switch on over to Ultra Steady mode, and this is the Ultra Steady mode from the front-facing camera. I'm just going to run around for a bit to show you guys what that looks like when you're running. The TECNO Camon 17 Pro's camera is a bit of a disappointment, especially because TECNO tagged it as the clearest selfie camera. To be fair, it probably pertains to just TECNO's lineup. The most impressive thing, and maybe the only reason to ever consider it, has to be its price to onboard storage ratio. It's rather silly to buy a phone for extra storage, especially when you get SD card slot on most mid-range phones, including this one. My apologies to anyone who has already picked up one of these before my late review. For everyone else, the Camon 17 Pro is not a worthy upgrade. Even TECNO's sister company's Infinix Note 10 Pro offers better value for money at a lower price point. You're basically getting everything the Camon 17 Pro has, plus a faster charging speed minus the brighter display and extra microphone. If you really want the best value for money under the same budget, you have to look towards the Redmi Note 10 Pro. I already compared them with my body value reviews. I'll be leaving a link to the video up above and down in the description box. The Camon 17 Pro is priced at 129,000 Naira, which converts to $260 US. Meanwhile, if you love to see a review of the all-new, crazily overpriced Phantom X, do let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram to see what I'm up to. Do subscribe for more videos like this, as it will mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.